Hej! I det 47:e avsnittet av Sveriges ledande arkitektur- och designpodd Summit ska vi ägna oss helt åt Prag och designveckan Designblok som vi precis har besökt. Jag heter Golling och Gustaf Kjellin. Innan vi går in på designveckan som nyligen avslutades, vad bör vi säga om Prag och Tjeckien för de lyssnare som mot all förmodan inte är så bekanta med landet eller staden?
Ja, bortsett från att Prag är känd för sina 114 kyrktorn så var det ju i stan som Rabbi Löv skapade Golling utan lera från floden Moldau för att beskydda staden Prag. Redan 1584 fanns här en tidskrift för trollkarlar. Vi vet inte om den finns kvar idag dock, men i övrigt så känner vi till Prag kanske för Franz Kafka och den välbevarade gamla medeltida stan som lockar många turister varje år.
Öl tänker man annars på när det gäller Prag. Eller bilmärket eller Tjeckien. Eller bilmärket Skoda. Och som vi kommer att prata mer om i programmet är ju Tjeckien inom designområdet kanske främst känt för glas. Och då är väl ett namn som man kan tänka sig känna till Lasvit som är en stor glasproducent.
Ja, det finns en lång tradition av att producera i glas i Tjeckien. Och den är i allra högsta grad levande idag. Och det är vad många unga tjeckiska formgivare tar tillvara på när de ger sig in och ska börja formge efter skolan. Och en stor del av Designblok handlar om just glas.
Det där kommer till när vi släpper in några av aktörerna under veckan i programmet. Men först en introduktion till själva evenemanget Designblok. Vad är det?
Designblok betyder ungefär samma sak på tjeckiska som det gör på svenska. Block är alltså ett block som man antecknar i med penna. Veckan har funnits i 16 år. Från början var det ett slags öppet showroom-tillställningsevent som initierades av de lokala agenterna på plats där. Till exempel Kjellin var med och gjorde det. Men ganska snart tog evenemanget över av duon Jana Zielinski och Jiri Maciek som vi kommer höra berätta mer om den här veckan senare i programmet. Men vi kan ju redan på en gång nämna att Designblok består av 4 stora utställningar, vad man kallar för superstudios, där det händer saker runt om i stan.
Ja, det gör det. Och de här superstudiosarna är inrymda i ganska spännande lokaler, tyckte i alla fall vi. Och vi tyckte att det är bara de här ställena som de hade öppnat upp porten till var en stor del av behållningen av veckan. Tydligen så är det så att 3 av de här 4 ställena byts ut varje år, medan det 4:e, som de kallar för Arthouse, fast det egentligen har ett betydligt pampigare namn för ett magnifikt barockpalats från 1600-talet, är en återkommande lokal varje år. De här lokalerna som ju skiljer sig åt sinsemellan ger ju utställningar i de lite olika karaktär. En utställning som ägde rum hölls i ett gammalt anrikt hotell som på den tiden det var ett hotell hette Grand Hotel Srobeck. Om någon har varit där kanske. Kallades nu för Hotel Europa. Och om det hotellet kan man säga att det är en superfin jugendbyggnad från början på 1900-talet som ligger på Václavplatsen. Hotellet har väl sett sina bästa dagar kan man säga och är stängt för renovering. En stor del av det kommer att, om jag förstår det, återställa sig i sin ursprungliga jugendprakt eftersom det har någon slags K-märkning eller motsvarande. Men rummen kommer att förändras för att det är lite speciellt med det här rummet och det var tydligen inget problem i början på 1900-talet var att de inte hade egna badrum och toaletter utan man fick gå ut i korridoren och dela med andra gäster. Det här har väl vår tids krav på standard gjort lite besvärligt i ett hotell som har de förutsättningarna, så rummen ska byggas om och ett av de här rummen visar de hur det skulle komma att bli och det var ganska ryssifierat var det de som sa. Det är en bra beskrivning.
Du menar inredning?
Ja, lite liksom blingigt och sådär. Och den här tycker jag personligen då ganska obegripliga detaljen att man sätter en stor glasruta mellan badrummet och sovrummet tycker de tydligen är superkul, så det kommer bli så. om man inte bor själv på det här rummet så vill det till om man inte är blyg. Men till den här utställningen, det var väl lite mer som, eller det närmaste Designblok kom en regelrätt mässa, för att i de här rummen som kanske var runt sig 15 kvadrat så ställde olika producenter ut, eller via deras agenter, Artemide till exempel och massa andra företag som visade, ja, det var väl inga produktnyheter direkt.
Ja, man kan säga så att det satte en ganska snäv ram för vad man fick och kunde göra i de här hotellrummen. Det positiva får man ju säga var att det snabbt skapades en väldigt trevlig rumslighet här. Alla installationer var väldigt fina att gå in och vara i. Och det kändes som att det som ställdes ut hamnade i ett ganska naturligt sammanhang. Vilket ibland kan vara problem på mässor som ju inte är i ett rum eller hem. Om man har ingen budget att skapa sådana med arkitektens hjälp.
Ja, man slipper det här grundproblemet till sig om man ställer ut i en mässhall att bygga ett rum där man ställer prylar. Det finns, det är bara att ställa in, eller bara ställa in dem och göra någonting.
Ja, checka in och ställa upp grejerna. Och det roliga var ju att sviten hade ju gått till Ikea här som visade PS-kollektionen, och de är ju inte verksamma under den svenska designveckan, men här hade de fått störst utrymme. Ja. Det var anmärkningsvärt för oss som är från Sverige. Ja. En nackdel med de här hotellrummen var ju det att ett singelrum tar ju bara så många personer. Och det gjorde ju att man kanske inte riktigt orkade in alla rum, för att det var helt enkelt knökfullt. Svårt att se grejerna.
Innan vi lämnar Hotell Europa så vill jag bara säga att för de som är intresserade av arkitektur, att de arkitekterna som ritade det här i början på 1900-talet hette Bedrich Bendelmeier och Alois Dryak.
Ja, vi ska också gå vidare i programmet till nästa superstudio som hette Superstudio Ra. Och det var väl den största utställningsarenan inhyst i en gammal skola. För temat här var just Ra, som betyder lek eller spel eller ungdom, eller hur man nu ska översätta det.
Temat för hela Designblok var väl barndom. Och där var lekspel en del.
Just det. Och det här var ju mer installationer än utställningar med faktiska konkreta produkter.
Förutom en svensk utställning som var kuraterad, som vi har lärt oss att det heter, av Stefan Nilsson, som visade svenska produkter för barn helt enkelt. Samma koncept också som på Hotell Europa, att alla fick varsitt rum. Men
varsitt klassrum.
Ja, exakt, lite större.
Och om vi rör oss ytterligare från skolan till den tredje utställningsplatsen som hette Open Studio, som fanns i centrala Prag, så var det inrymt i en jättefin 1400-talsbyggnad. Och här hade varje utställare återigen fått ett eget rum, ungefär cirka 15 kvadratmeter. Och det skapade också en fin rumslighet till varje installation. Och jag tycker personligen att alla utställare hade gjort ett jättefint jobb med alla detaljer i rummet. Det kändes verkligen som att gå in i man fick direkt olika känslor när man gick in i de olika rummen.
Men på det här stället som kallas för Open Studio, som låg mitt i den här medeltida stadskärnan, så var det ju lite mer, vad ska man säga, unga eller oberoende formgivare som ställde ut.
Gränsade någonstans mellan konsthantverk och produktdesign.
Och den sista stora utställningen, vi nämnde tidigare Arthouse i Barockpalatset som vi talar om, som ligger precis vid Karlsbron, som jag gissar att många som turister i Prag promenerar över. Var väl kanske, vad ska man säga, det minst kommersiella av de här 4 utställningarna, eller i alla fall högst profil. Kändes som att där någon noga valt vilka som fick vara med och ställa ut.
Här hade man ju klämt in stornamn, och framförallt de inbjudna Guest of Honor som var flera stycken, och det var från Holland främst Ineke Hans, Gies Bakker, och här hade man även klämt in ett helt holländskt designgalleri i ett av rummen. Men de var, ja, det är såna här fina gamla palats som man skulle kunna gå in i någon designutställning i Milano eller någonting sånt här. Och det är nästan så att man skulle kunna slänga in vad som helst och det skulle se superbra ut för det är så magnifika rum.
Ja, precis. Återigen, lokalen är en del av behållningen. Inkans kan man säga gjorde glassvampar.
Men hon berättade att man äter mycket svamp i Tjeckien. Så att...
Vi lämnar Arthouse och släpper in vår första, det finns en gäst, men den första tjeckiska rösten, nämligen Jana Zielinski som ju driver Designblok tillsammans med Jiri Maciek och även driver det lokala designgalleriet Kreki.
My name is Jana Zielinski and I'm the Designblok director and curator and as well owner of Kreki brand being presented at this fair, Design Week.
And for someone who hasn't visited Designblok before, could you describe it?
It's a Prague Design Week and it was established 16 years ago, which means it is one of the oldest design weeks in Europe actually. And we present two main parts. One is design and the second is fashion. But the design part is much bigger than the fashion because in fashion and as well in design we follow only the author's design. And in design we present design companies, producers, so we have quite a big commercial part, which are big international brands like Kjellin, Artemide, Moi, Tom Dixon, whatever. But we want to present as well Czech brands, of course, and Central European brands. And we are quite happy that we have more than 30 of them from the Central Europe. It's very important. And the second part is designers. And we present design studios, designers, and school ateliers. And this year we have 16 countries of Europe being presented at Designblok with more than 100 designers in total. And the main focus is on Central Europe, of course. So Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, Austria, Germany.
And we're sitting in one of the main venues. Can you tell us about this magnificent location?
We have this year 5 venues, and every year we change the venues in Prague because we use the buildings which are newly built and they will be in the future rented or sold, or we use historical buildings which are used for some other purposes. We use as well old factories and industrial buildings, so we change the locations every year. And this building, Superstudio Evropa, is a geometrical Art Nouveau building from the end of the 19th century. And it was a hotel during the period between the wars, the First and the Second World War. It was one of the most luxurious hotels in Europe. But now it is closed. It's not used anymore because it waits for the reconstruction. And the owners let us in just for this 1 week. And we really love this contrast of the Art Nouveau design and contemporary design. It makes it very interesting and very emotional. So this is what we like about this building. And of course, the location is perfect. It's in the Wenceslav Square, directly in the center of Prague.
What do the exhibitors have to say about a venue like this? Because I mean, every hotel room is a sort of separate exhibition for a company or a designer, and if you have a show in, let's say, an old factory building, I guess you have more open space. So that kind of sets strict boundaries for what they can do.
Absolutely, and it's actually, I admire them because last year we have offered them the old railway station with huge halls, and they could do actually almost anything there. And this year we said you have a 15 square meter room and you have to deal with it. So they have to be very flexible, but they want to be here. So we are happy that they accepted and that they have to deal with the construction of their exhibition in the hotel room. And we have the second super studio, which is in the former basic school, and there are classrooms So the bigger installations are in the basic school because the classrooms are much bigger, of course, than the hotel rooms. So if the companies couldn't fit in, like the big brands like Nike, Heineken, a lot of them couldn't fit in the hotel rooms because their installation was planned to be too big. So they accepted the room in the former basic school. So we have these two super studios, which are more like companies oriented, let's say.
But given that you have exhibitors like Heineken and Nike, is the Designblok aimed primarily towards the general public or the business?
We have both. We have 7 days, and the first day is only business, which means here are only developers, architects, designers, businessmen. It's on Monday. And then from Tuesday we start for the public, because we wanted Designblok to be really like a lifestyle event as well for the people. And that's why these big brands want to participate as well. But it's quite normal. It's the similar in Milano. I think from all the design weeks in Europe, we are probably closest with the concept to Milano, because we have the commercial companies, the lifestyle companies. We have premieres of the cars as well here, and but of course the designers.
As you mentioned in the beginning, you're also the owner of a brand here in Czech Republic. How did you come about to get involved in doing this, organizing this fair?
Actually, it was quite a challenge, because when we started 16 years ago, we had only international brands, no Czech brands being participated, because here were almost no Czech companies who worked with designers, so we couldn't invite them to participate. But as the event has grown as well, the companies, and actually the big break was in 2007, 2008, when the crisis came, 2009, when the companies understood that if they want to be compatible, the Czech brands, I mean now, I don't talk about the international ones, the Czech brands, they have to work with designers. It's necessary when you work in glass, furniture, porcelain, all these classic Czech industry companies, they had to come with the new concept, because the China is cheaper. So you have to come with the original concept of your products. And this was the beginning when the Czech companies started in general to work more with the designers. And now, as I said, we have 30 Czech brands being presented here at Designblok, because it's important. Designblok is very selective. So we can choose and we can invite and exhibit only the Czech brands which can be compared to these international ones, because when you have here big brands like Capellini and Artemide, they will not want to exhibit side to side to some low quality brands. So you have to keep the balance, and you have to choose from the Czech production, industrial production, only the best brands who really work with quality designers, and their collection is interesting enough and quality enough.
What role do you think you and your gallery have played in sort of getting Czech brands to be aware of the fact that they need to work with designers to stay competitive?
I think Designblok helped a lot, that the design became sort of a topic for the public, because we have almost 50,000 visitors, which makes it really quite a big for the public as well. But I think what helped even more were the Czech Grand Design Awards, because in 2006 Czech Grand Design Awards started to happen, and they award the companies for their cooperation with designers. And it's broadcasted by the national TV. It's a big show in the National Theatre. And the companies started to think, oh, it's a good marketing. Maybe I should work with the designers as well, so that I have the promotion as well. And I think the crisis helped a lot, because they had to really start hard working to be competitive. So these are more factors altogether, as well, of course, the time, and as well that design becomes more and more general topic. in all countries. It's not only here, of course, but when you compare it 20 years ago and now, the interest of the public in the whole world in design is much higher than it was before. So this whole situation helped. But I think the Czech Republic is special in this, because when you compare it to Hungary, to Austria, to similar markets, to Slovakia, the Czech industry is on the highest level in design, in furniture, lightings. The Poland is becoming very strong as well, but from the Central Europe, I think still the Czech Republic is really one of the strongest, as well with the whole tradition of glass and porcelain and furniture.
But sort of turning focus from industry to market, you mentioned a lot of Italian brands like Artemide coming here and showing. I mean, is the Czech Republic an interesting market for them, or why are they here?
Oh, maybe you should ask them, but I think Designblok is the best event for them to present and to get to their clients. So that's why they exhibit here. But it's very special, actually, because they don't exhibit in any design weeks in Central Europe, as far as I know, like, for example, Vitra, number one in Europe in furniture. They exhibit in Orgetec, and they exhibit in Kortrijk and Milano, and Designblok in Prague, because it is the most important event for them in this region. So, and for Vitra, for example, it's the most important event in the year. They put almost all the budget, all the effort to Designblok. So I think it's because it works for them. Otherwise, I can't explain it.
And you also each year have several guest of honors that you invite to the week. And in 2012 you had the gallery owner Rosanna Orlandi. Is that we get the impression that this week attracts a lot of design gallery owners. It seems like a quite unique thing for a design week.
Yes, it is, because as far as I know, we are the only design week which has one exhibition house targeted only on art design and collectible design. And we have it in this Colorado Mansfeld Baroque Palace. It's a beautiful old 16th century building, 17th century. And we try to concentrate all these art design concepts into this house, and we try to attract the collectors as well, of course. Prague is quite a rich region, not the whole Czech Republic, but Prague is very, very well, as well with the money. So I think it works probably as well for them. And Rosanna is coming on Friday again. So she will be here, and Coq de Roy from Frozen Fountains coming on Friday. Lina Canafani from the Mint Gallery in London coming. The Jean-Pierre Noal from the Leblanc from the Noal Hier festival in France is coming. So I think it's interesting for them, and they always find new pieces here as well. And San Ben Simon Gallery is here, and the main buyer of La Rinascenta from Milano is here to select for La Rinascenta. So it works for them, and they come already for years to see the show, because what we try to keep is the highest level, the level as high as possible, so that you really pre-select to the people only the high quality. It never works in 100%, of course, but you try your best to keep the highest level.
The city of Prague, is that in any way seeing this development and recognizing that this is something that is moving upward and forward? And in what ways are they helping?
Yeah, for first 13 years of Designblok, we were not interesting for Prague at all. They said, oh, design, okay, do it, we can allow you to do it, but that's it. And then in 2012, the situation changed, And they said, oh, maybe it's interesting. You bring tourists to Prague. We have more than 1,000 visitors coming from abroad, so it's already as well from the tourist part an interesting thing, because these people sleep in good hotels, they go to good restaurants, and they spend the money here. So they started to be interested in Designblok, and since 2013 they have started to give us as well money. Incredible. So we are now among 8 most important events in Prague, which is selected by Prague, like Prague Spring Festival, the music festival, and Prague Marathon, and these events. So there are 8 most important events, which Designblok is now one of them, which means we get the money, and they help us with some of the buildings as well. Like the open studio for the designers in the Old Town Square, this Renaissance building, it's owned by the city. And they have rented us this building, which is very helpful, of course. So it was a tough work. For the first 13 years, no interest at all. And then now the situation has changed a lot, which is very good for us, because when you have some budget from the city, even if it's not big, and it covers like 10% of the whole budget of the event, but you have some certain money to go on each year, one after another, because they promise us the money for 3 years. So we have the guaranteed part of the budget, and it's very helpful already. So yes, the city of Prague has become very important to us, but it's a recent past.
Could you tell us a little bit about your other work, so to speak, the gallery that you run? How did that come about, and what is the ambition or purpose of the gallery?
Křehký, which means fragile, was first only exhibition project. And we did a very nice exhibition together with Maxim Velčovský, Czech designer. We have started this exhibition because we thought it would be nice to have some exhibition which could maybe travel and show Czech glass and contemporary Czech glass and porcelain. And this exhibition was very successful. We have traveled all around the world, from Australia to Milan Design Week to Japan, 100% Tokyo. We were invited with this exhibition basically everywhere you can be invited. And we won the prizes and ICFF Design Award and so on. And so we thought, well, maybe the people are interested in the Czech production. And so we have started to do the products as well for the exhibition, like new products. We have asked designers, like, could you design? We go to Tokyo, 100% design. Those days, it was 2008. Could you design a new piece for us? And we started the production. And then we had already so many pieces that we have thought, okay, so what will be the next? And we have opened the gallery. And since then, Křehký produces as well pieces, and it has actually now become a brand. It's not only the gallery, but it's as well the brand, because we have already 70 products which are produced under this brand of Křehký. So it was a slow development which kind of happened, and our main aim was to represent Czech design abroad with Křehký, and the idea to come up with our own brand has come because we have seen the products and we thought the products are really good. So we should look after them and we should produce further. And Křehký is now being sold in the galleries all around the world. So we are happy, but it was not the purpose from the beginning. Actually, the purpose at the beginning was to represent Czech design, and as well, the gallery we opened because we said, oh, the Designblok is becoming so big. Maybe we should have something small to have really to look after it. You know what I mean? Like when you make a big thing, you can't deal with all the details, but with the gallery, because you have then big team and everybody is doing one part, of the thing. But with the gallery, you can really go back and to deal with concrete products and to do the details, which is a very nice work.
Ja, det var Jana Zielinski som berättade mer om Designblok här i Summit som vi ägnar helt åt designveckan i Prag. Det är ju väldigt intressant det hon säger här. Dels så är det ju kul när hon berättar om Krekky-märket och att hon ville liksom skapa det för att hon tyckte att det fanns så många bra tjeckiska formgivare som hade fina projekt som egentligen aldrig blev något. Och det får mig att tänka på grundaren av Spark, designgalleriet i Reykjavik, som också hade samma filosofi bakom starten på det. Att hon tyckte det var så många fina isländska projekt som bara försvann, så hon ville starta något för det.
Och Sigurjonsdottir kan man ju återknyta bekantskap med genom att lyssna på vårt Designmarch special som finns på vår hemsida summitunlimited.se.
Ja, och vad ska man vidare säga om det här? Att hon berättar, de tjeckiska producenterna, de vaknade till liv när det var en finanskris och insåg att men vi behöver ju faktiskt jobba hårdare med formgivare för att kunna konkurrera med andra företag och producenter på den internationella marknaden. Det är jättekul att hon berättar det.
Ja, och även pris har de ju instiftat, Czech Grand Design, just för att lyfta fram sådana exempel på sådana samarbeten och jag menar på de talanger de har såklart. Några formgivare som Krekky arbetar med, Plecháč och Henry Wielgus, var oerhört aktiva under den här veckan måste jag säga. De fanns överallt, gjorde installationer med Heineken och i egen regi och för det här glasföretaget Lastvit som vi pratade om tidigare. Där de visade, det var väl ingen debut för den kollektionen, men visade ändå Never Ending Glory Collection, en serie taklampor vars form är inspirerade av ljuskronor som finns i några av världens främsta operahus. Garnieroperan i Paris och La Scala i Milano och flera. Men mer om Lastvit nu när vi släpper in Jan och Henry.
My name is Jan Plecháč. This is my colleague Henry Wielgus. We have our own studio, Jan Plecháč and Henry Wielgus. We are based in Prague, in Czech Republic, and now we are at Designblok Prague, which is like Prague Design Week. We have 7 presentations during this week, and as I said, for Chanel, Lee, Heineken, and other brands, and we have our own installation. Here in this venue, where we have new products for this year and new collections.
You seem to be working very closely with one of the Czech Republic's most well-known brands, Lastvit. This year representing the chandeliers were
last year. It was collection Never Ending Glory, which was our first collection made of glass, and it was our first cooperation with Lastvit. And the chandeliers were inspired by original chandeliers from opera houses around the world, from Moscow to New York, Paris, and Milan and Prague, because we are Prague citizens.
You know, the shapes were inspired by these iconic chandeliers. So we just made the outline, create the outline. After we just spin the outline around, and now it's final shapes. So it just it seems like a ghost. It's just very very pure shape, made of glass. So yeah. So but the first thing, the first inspiration has been like to see the old iconic chandeliers in these lovely opera houses. So
the rotation comes from process how is glass blowing into the mouth, which is like rotating process. So if you want to make something with glass, you have to make rotation shape or rotated shape.
Yeah. Which is like the basic principle to have rotated shape. is the basic thing in glass working. So the process is not so easy, but the idea is very clear. It's crystal clear, just to make rotated shape with very special outline.
Coming from abroad, the first you're struck by is that the glass is what you are very good at. Is this something that you also were schooled in while studying at the Architecture and Design School in Prague?
Mostly we studied architecture, but after that we decided finish our university with design projects. Our thesis have been design. So after that we tried to make more designs, more furniture, lights and so on. And after that we had a chance to cooperate with Swedish. It was like super new for us to make something made of glass. We haven't idea before how to work with glass and so on, but we've been in a workshop. And these guys are very, very handy. They know what to do, where to do, how to do, and so on. So they just advised us, and after we tried to make our first thing.
We were learning during the process.
It was lovely cooperation with Swedish, because it was,
The shapes are really difficult for the glass blowers. So I think they were learning as well during the process.
Yeah. It was a great experience for us. And after that, we made another collection, and now it's like, the cooperation is better and better because we know what to do, what is possible, what's not, and so on.
You mentioned that you have 7 different projects during this year's Designblok. So it seems like you're quite busy. But again, to an outsider, how would you describe this week? Is it mostly sort of an event for the general public or people within the design industry, or?
I think that everything together. I think that it's very important week for Czech designers. It's very nice week for public, like general public, and it's quite good for this connection between producers and designers, and between producers and general public.
But maybe not so for producers, but it's better for contact with galleries, because here comes lot of galleries from Paris, London,
from Milan and so on. And to be honest, for us it's been very, very good here 2 years ago, because the main guest was Rosanna Orlandi, who saw our stuff in a venue, and after she just invited us to her gallery. And after that, some guys from Denmark saw our stuff in Rosanna's gallery, Orlandi, and they wanted to cooperate with us. And now our furniture is in production. It's produced by Menu. So it was like a tree. I think that it's very important, or it's the best way how to show your work in Czech Republic. Of course, we are not on the right business way, so we are still it's in Paris, it's not Milan, but it's the best way how to show your work here, in Czech Republic. And after another step is go to Milan, go to Paris, go to New York or London, doesn't matter. But it's the first step for Czech designers just to be here.
So what made you decide to start to work together when graduating from school?
So we started our cooperation during our studies. So it was maybe in 5th grade, more or less. To be honest, I don't know exactly. But yes, so it was time when we started with some little projects and so on. And after I showed I launched my diploma project in Milan, and it was quite successful, this collection. So Giulio Capellini saw the project in some magazines, and just sent me the email. That would be great, just to have a meeting and so on. And so we decided with Henry to establish our own studio with official name and so on. Because of Kjellin, that would be great, like startup for our studio, like a kick. So we decided to make like the official studio. It's still like Plecháč and Henry Wielgus, but together. So.
But now during this conversation you mentioned Rostan Rolandi, Kjellin and menus, so you don't seem to be restricted to working with Czech companies alone. You seem to be sort of quite oriented towards international design scene. Would you say that Prague is a good place to be based in if you're working as a designer today with sort of the whole world as your market, basically?
I think that is a very good question, but to be honest, we don't know the answer. Because we think that, Prague is not the best place where to show your design, where to be based, and so on. Because of
its industry in Czech Republic almost doesn't exist. Just a few companies. But there's not so big business like companies in Denmark or.
Yeah, because Lasvit it's a highlight, but the rest is like So the situation is not the best, but it's quite good to be well known in Czech Republic. So you can be just on the top, because this is small market. So it's quite easy to be the top of the design hill. Mm-hmm. So this is one reason why to stay in Prague. Another one is that we know a lot of workshops, very handy guys. We know where to do, why to do with these guys, and so on. So it's quite easy now for us to produce some prototypes and so on. But we think that would be better to move to London or to another city, maybe who knows, next year. Because I've been for a year in London and it was like it was great time, and it's a great country and great city. I mean in this design scene. So so it's quite hard to explain why we still stay in Prague, but I don't know. Maybe I think that
it's a good city for living.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like quite calm or
quite
tranquil.
Yeah. It is. It's quite cool, but it's still quite cheap if you compare with London or Copenhagen or Stockholm, maybe. So it's much easier to stay to be here now.
Comfort, it's perfect here.
Yeah.
You mentioned the lack of companies working with design, but you have this Designblok, the Design Week. It's been around for 16 years, if I'm not mistaken. I mean,
16 years.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, and that, of course, is a good thing, and it seems to be well known by the public since there are a lot of people at the shows. But what else would be needed to create a good environment for design in Prague, do you think?
Yeah, it is. But to be honest, there's a big gap between designers and producers. Just a few good producers, which is Lasvit, Ton, and maybe Brokis. Yeah, this Designblok is very nice. Like during the whole week, there's a lot of presentation. There's a lot of parties. Everything is very nice and very friendly. But for your business, it's still like it's very good for magazines, for your popularity. We are like stars, but we're just one Czech client. Yeah. Or the taste of Czech people is a little bit different than our, because we really like Scandinavian design, and this is the reason why Menu chose our furniture, and now they are produce another product designed by our studio, and it's the cooperation grow, and I think that this is the reason that we are more like Scandinavian than Czech designers. So maybe it's one of the reasons why we are just one client.
When you were studying, did you have an idea where you wanted to work, in which field? Did you want to work close to design galleries, or were the aim to sort of meet producers and try and do industrial design and mass producing?
I think that we wanted both of us wanted to design bigger series, not just for galleries and so on. But it seemed quite hard to reach it. So, and after we decided, okay, let's make something for galleries, because Rosanna Orlando is a lovely person, and to be honest, it's a great moment to be there, to be in her gallery. So we decided, okay, let's make something for galleries, as you can see, the wooden furniture and so on, and something like very cheap. I mean, very cheap in process for menu and so on, because we need to sell it like in big series and so on. Something between is Lasvit, because it's quite luxury brand, but still in series. So we try to make for all these ways, because it's very nice to skip from one field to another one, and normally we are designing interiors as well, so like a restaurant, flats and so on, so we just skipping from one to another one. So but we wanted to make like that.
Det där var den tjeckiska formgivarduon Jan Plecháč och Henry Wielgus. Ni får ju ursäkta våra uttal här på tjeckiska först och främst. Men, ja. Två av de mer framstående formgivarna som vi träffade här under designveckan i Tjeckien. Intressant att höra här är ju hur de kom i kontakt med Rosanna Orlando och sen tog det fart.
Och det här du säger med Rosanna Orlando, för hon är väl inte den enda galleristen som fått upp ögonen för designveckan i Prag?
Nej, det här är lite vår spaning, det vi ringade in. Att vi fick känslan av att hit åker inte designproducenter för att leta unga formgivare, utan hit åker designgallerier för att leta nya objekt i sina samlingar. Och det var också någonting som Jana pratade om i intervjun, att det är det de attraherar. Mm. Det är lätt att förstå när man är här och ser alla de här verken.
Vilket säkert återigen hänger samman med det här med att Tjeckien är ett hyfsat litet land, liten marknad. Ekonomin kanske inte är superduperbra just nu. Men vi nämnde Lasvit. Det finns såklart andra tjeckiska producenter. En av dem är Brockis som gör lampor. Många av dem i glas. Och en stor hit på senare tid är en lampa som heter Mona. Designad av en tjeckisk formgivare som heter Lucie Koldová. Kanske får de här namnen klockan att ringa för någon uppmärksam lyssnare. För de var nämligen här i Stockholm och visade upp sig på Furniture and Light Fair i februari 2014. Spännande. Är man lite nyfiken på vilka de är så träffade vi även Lucie Koldová. Hon kommer precis nu och hon pratar just också om det här med hur man gör om man är en tjeckisk formgivare, var man ska befinna sig någonstans för att just hitta de här samarbetena och uppdragsgivarna.
My name is Lucie Koldová and I'm a lighting and furniture designer. I started some years ago. I studied in Prague at the Academy of Art, Architecture and Design. I studied product design and then furniture design. I did an internship in Högskolan in Gothenburg. So this was my first meet with the Scandinavian design, and actually I like the principles of the Scandinavian design and the style that the countries are going to, and the history of the Danish, and so I got enchanted by that. And then I went to Paris, where I was based 4 years. And I started at Arik Levy's studio for 1 year, and then I settled my own studio later on. So I started to work with international companies and the Czech companies as well.
But the decision to start your own company, how did that come about, and where did you set it up?
Basically, when I left school, I always knew that I'm going to be a designer from that moment, because I started to work already during my studies with Czech manufacturers, and it turned out very well for me and for them. And the more I got into it, I loved what I was doing, and I found myself inside. And then I went to get some more experience abroad, and I felt that going to a big city, a multicultural city like Paris or London, can give me like a quick kick forward, because it smashes you quite hard, and you need to think from many different directions, and you are in a different context. And then finally I found more and more who I was or what I want to do, because I was forced to question myself and question what I was doing. And then when I was living in Paris, I really liked the multicultural place and different influences, but at the same time I cherished my background back home, and this is where I belong to in one way. So nowadays I came back to live in Prague, but 1 year or 1.5 year I was traveling between Paris and Prague, like meeting the manufacturers over here, but I was based in Paris. So it was quite a busy period for me, but I could benefit from both markets in a way, like from my background where I had the production and the facilities, the crafts. And in Paris, where the international scene was very active, and there was a creative hub for me to be present, to be confronted with the rest. And now I found a strong connection with the company Brokis, where I act like an art director. I've done several collections. I was asked to design the first one when they wanted to change their marketing strategy. They wanted to come to the design fields, as they had some design before, but they were not up to date, not really contemporary pieces. And when I won the Discovery of the Year, as Jana said, that this contest of the design awards that they are running, it helped to decide, for the companies to decide, like, that they should do something about the design collection, that they should really work with the local designers as well, because there's a mutual success, because each side supports the other one, and it's very fruitful for both parties. So I think that Brokis at that moment also had this kind of intuition, or like a good aim to go forward with the designers, and I was the one of the first ones that they asked to work with them, and the muffin collections became very successful. So then we continue with another set of table lamps, which was called balloons, and again it turned out to be quite interesting also for the international market. And then we were presented in Milan together with Polyform, and then all the interest from different countries came after Milan straight away, and this is how it led to me and Brokis, how we got connected together strongly.
But how do you feel that the design community here has changed from when you graduated school and then came back and set up your own studio?
It changed dramatically. I have to say that, as Jana said, Designblok helped the designers, the brands, and the public to understand that design is very important for our society in general, for all the countries and brands, but also for the Czech one. And now sometimes I feel like some brands came to resurrection, like suddenly they understood that they need to confront each other, that they need to show the pieces next to others, and they need to try harder, and they understood that the local designers are quite comparable with the top designers in the world. And I think that all of us, like the brand or the designers, are much more proud to be a part of it. And for us, it's a matter of prestige and pride to be a part of Designblok at the same time.
And would you say that the profession designer has become more and more increasingly popular here in Czech Republic? Are more people aware that this could be a choice as a career?
Definitely. Unfortunately for me or for us designers, there is many more people like annually interested in being designers, but now it's quite problematic because the number of companies is not growing so fast. So it might be quite crucial that if there is so many designers, then I feel that everybody should find his own way, but it's not easy when it's not equal with the companies. So I believe that the concept what the school that I attended had is quite nice because it's highly selective, and there is just a few people chosen each year, like 3 people per studio per each year, which is actually very good for the market, because then not such a big crowd can get the chance, even though it's harsh for the rest. But I think that they need to keep in mind that the number of the companies should grow at the same time. It has got such a popularity that now it's quite crucial for the young designers who really want to do that job and believe in that. And I think Czech Republic became very interesting for the rest. Also from the historical point of view, suddenly it's bursting immersively that the culture is so rich, and there's so many events and so many tourists, and the spirit of Prague is just unrepeatable in a way. And I think it's just a favorite city nowadays. It's quite trendy.
We've talked a little bit about Czech companies and Blokis in particular, since you work for them, and how they've started to work with designers to be more competitive. But where do you see that they're heading in terms of where are the markets for Czech design? Because I guess the Czech Republic isn't really enough. It's a small country.
Generally speaking, I think that the Czech market is not the market for the Czech brands.
So why would you say that?
Well, me personally, I work with glass, and glass is a phenomenon for the Czech culture and for our Czech Republic. And we present it on international market where it can get a lot of interest, and there's there's many people want the Czech glass and the Czech porcelain, so it makes sense for the foreigners to be interested in something that they don't have. And it is like product or art pieces of high quality, and I think they are in a way much further in this design culture and development, and they can understand it very well. They have their own background, and they can compare and they can appreciate the quality. But the Czech culture and the Czech people still, I think, need to maybe understand or get a little bit more proud to get back to their own roots and to appreciate it. Because for them it's like in the blood. Or this is what I see. Like if I see the Czech glass 10 years ago, it was not like when I travel around and I can see how it developed and how the new spirit came in, and now it's just much more stronger and much more powerful.
You mentioned the glass as one of the obvious materials of choice when working with design here in Czech Republic, and you also in the beginning talked that you were in Gothenburg and you appreciated the Scandinavian design with the functionality and so on. What words would you use to describe the Czech design, either if you work with glass or wood? Or...
I think the bohemian spirit. We don't like to follow any rules. We are quite free in the creation and in life. Craftsmanship is very important for us. This is what we come from. Local sources like the wood production, the glass and the porcelain making, quality and precision. These are just the first words that come to my mind when I think about it. The bohemian spirit is the strongest one. That when you go to the glass factory and you see all the people, like 60 people in a glass factory running around, like in the way they feel, they are not restricted in any way what to wear, or they are like on their own. I don't know how if you understand my point, but it's quite an experience to be there and to see where the brilliant glassworks come from. Or maybe the contrast would be a great word as well. Like the background where we came from, like the communistic part in the past, and now in 20 years it evolved so much that it's just contrasting. Like when you see the final result, that you don't believe what we have been through in the past.
Det där var tjeckiska formgivaren Lucie Koldová sist ut i vår Designblok special. Och ja, men intressant här att höra ändå att hon känner att det här är ändå ett populärt yrke i Tjeckien också. Det finns liksom inga undantag. Det är populärt över hela världen. Och att hon ändå kände stressen. Att så här, det finns inte tillräckligt producenter för att kunna ta alla unga formgivare. Och här kanske skolorna har en liksom reglerande funktion. Hur många de ska ta in och hur många de ska spotta ut. Och det har väl i sin tur att göra med att man får pengar för hur många elever man kan knacka in.
Det är väl så det funkar i Sverige i alla fall. Där är väl så att universiteten och högskolorna får pengar per elev eller student som går ut skolan med examen. Vilket såklart gör det till ett ändamål i sig att ta in så många som möjligt. Det där kan man ju prata väldigt mycket om. Och det kanske vi får lov att återkomma till. Men det får en annan gång, för att nu ska vi runda av det här programmet. Och det gör vi genom att vända blicken mot en annan designvecka. Nämligen en som ligger ganska nära i tid och betydligt närare i geografin. Nämligen Designveckan i Stockholm och Stockholm Furniture & Light Fair. För att en nyhet därifrån är att det nu är klart vem som kommer att göra designbaren nästa år. Och det blir Mattias Stenberg, som är känd som designer av produkter för Designen Stockholm och Offekt bland andra. Det här populära vattenhålet kommer han att ge en gestaltning som är baserad på båthusets typologi. Och det ska bjuda besökarna på nordisk svalhet med fokus på material. Vad det exakt innebär får vi såklart veta i februari, då om vi tar oss till designbaren som får en ny plats.
Ja, de har vänt på hallarna. Designbaren kommer ju ligga i C-hallen.
Den låg förr i världen.
Som den låg förr i världen. Och där kommer man ju även att inhysa den här scenen där man har seminarier som heter Design Talks. Så det kommer finnas alla anledning att gå från A till B vidare till C i år. Eller nästa år, 2015.
Vi ser fram emot det såklart och lär väl återkomma till fler nyheter om Stockholm Furniture & Light Fair. Vi tänkte runda av. Innan vi säger då så vill vi såklart påpeka att vi har lagt upp länkar till allt vi pratar om på vår hemsida. Adressen är summitunlimited.se. Där finns även vår bokhandel som är väl värd ett besök.
Gärna av er. Du når oss på info@summitunlimited.se och följ oss på Twitter, Instagram och Facebook.
Och lyssna på nästa avsnitt om 2 veckor.
Vi hörs då.